Welcome back, Lelanders. Today we're looking at a live stream reaction to the Blue Ghost lander for the moon. Yes! I wasn't sure if I was going to do one of these, so I'll share it in the Discord just in case anyone else wants to watch or join. If anyone else wants to join in the chat and ask questions, I think we can even do calls over Discord. Make sure we got the chat working. Wow, this is getting intense. Right, I think, So they're showing right now the different landing areas for Blue Ghost and Apollo 11. Alright, we don't want to get too carried away with showing the NASA stuff. I'll come back to that if anything good comes up, but we'll go up to some of the material that we got ready for tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about what's the reasoning behind calling the mission Blue Ghost. Yeah, so we got it here already. Alright, so one of the ideas for the Blue Ghost, I think, is to do with the demons and poltergeist and paranormal activity that's known to occur on the moon in ancient legends and history. Stuff like demons being imprisoned on the moon. I think one of the best old talking about it comes from the Bible, when Jesus was called into a village to get rid of an entire village that was full of demons. So when he cast the demons out, he ran into one problem, as the demons left, but they went into the village's livestock, like all the goats and all the sheep, all the alpacas. No, didn't have those yet. But anyways, yeah, so then the livestock ran off a cliff and died, sacrificed themselves, and just to get even with the village for casting out all the demons. So one of the ideas is when Jesus cast out these demons, he really should have cast them out to somewhere specific, not just anywhere out in general. So hopefully Jesus will learn a lot more about casting out demons next time he's around, right? So that's one of the ideas for behind the blue ghost lander. Yeah, so if people haven't heard this story before, when it comes to the story about the history for the moon and these spirits or paranormal creatures like a blue ghost, is the rabbit that's on the moon. Now there is the idea that in Asia, the rabbit offered itself into a fire as a sacrifice, and then its image was put on the moon for all to see. Same thing with the Aztecs. Interesting how people all around the world had the same tradition. Nearly identical. Yeah, so here it talks about the Aztec, that the rabbit was going to have lots of offspring, just like the Playboy bunny. Now it always comes back to the rabbit being a sacrifice. We'll get more into why sacrifice and rabbits go hand in hand. Alright, on the video they're just showing some videos, animations, nothing good yet. Alright, so when it comes to the First Nations history and the rabbits being involved with the sacrifice, we can see this when we look up to the Winter Maker, or the Orion Man, some cultures would call him. The belt stars of Orion in his center. Reaches out to the dog star Anubis for guidance, or Sirius, or Canis, minor or major. And the other arm reaches out to the Seven Sisters, or Pleiades, or the Seventh Heaven, home of the immortals. That's where the immortality and the sacrifice and the rabbit, all that comes tying together. It's interesting how it's not only on our moon, but also in our Orion stars, stars that everyone on the planet can see, except for the people in the horrible place to live. Alright, so if people want some more information, if this really is connected, does it have any ties to Apollo, the first moon landings that some people will say will never even existed? Well, we got Ronald Evans with the Apollo. Ancient legend says that the girl named Chang O has been living or been imprisoned on the moon for 4,000 years. She was banished there because she stole the pill of immortality from her husband. You might ask her to look for her companion, the large Chinese rabbit. So there we got the story from the celestial equator in the sky with Orion, how it connects to even the Apollo missions. So when the astronauts landed, they said they're going to keep a close eye out for them, just sort of like the blue ghost. In a way, they were keeping an eye out for this paranormal activity and history and legends. Well, it also talks about this in the Change mission, Moonlanders, the Jade Rabbit. Still not much in excitement from NASA, but we'll cover more of the history here. So there we got the Orion, the rabbit, the sacrifice history that's tied to both the moon and the Alpha to Omega story in the sky. It's shared amongst the Anunnaki, the Sumerians, Canaanites, Phoenicians, basically all the pagans across Europe, even Egypt. And you can never doubt the Egyptian, straight from National Geographic. They would never lie to you. It's got the ox, the bent knee, wing disc, all with the Orion. Now if Orion spins with the celestial equator, that's where we get the ring around the wing. Thanks to the First Nations cultures for sharing that tidbit. Now if anyone's got any questions about this, and the ghost, or the blue ghost lander for the moon, just let me know in the chat. So what do the viewers think? Is it possible we'll see any paranormal activity if the blue ghost lander shows like a live video stream? Something that NASA usually doesn't do, especially on other planets. Obviously there'll be a bit of a delay, can't be truly live, but anyone can put it in the chat if they know what the delay is to the moon. What an exciting moment in history. We get to see finally landing on the moon. Oh, they're showing some more pictures of the moon. Let's check it out. Alright, let's get back to our slides and presentation. Alright, so we can see the Orion man in the sky, and Alpha to Omega. If anyone's wondering, how does Alpha to Omega connect to this Orion man? We can see that it does because of the ox, or the Taurus, or the horned beast is also the symbol for A, Alph, or Aleph, the beast, the horned beast. Then the Omega, you can see how it's like twin symbols on either side. It's just like the twins in Gemini. Then the cross is to show the spinning of the celestial equator, or the great circle in the sky. And the line with the curve is the man, or the deity. Oh, we're down to under an hour. Alright, so yeah, if people have ever wondered what the winged disc symbology is, now they get an idea. Other symbology you'll see for this is because of the Taurus horns, the sacrifice required to reach the home of the immortals in the seventh heaven. Sometimes you would be depicted as having horns. So that's where the demonology, or the blue ghost trapped on the moon. So yeah, if you ever see a deity or a creature with horns, it's depicting this sacrifice ritual to become an immortal. Alright, so what else is there? A, Alpha, connected that. Well, if anyone's wondering, one of the elbow stars is also Beetlejuice, connecting to the Beetlejuice movies that we recently saw in the movie theaters, or some people may have saw. Alright, here's where it gets really wild. We'll do a whole episode just on this soon. Is the Enterprise from Star Trek came across a moon similar to our moon, and when they went to explore it, there was a very xenophobic advanced life forms, species that lived there, and they knocked everyone out on the ship and lied to everyone using false probe data. So they continued to lie to people about false probe data on the ship and kept it a secret of what was really on the moon. And it's an interesting story. It seems to match what happens in our real life with our moon as well. We're always just getting probe data And well, I guess tonight we're going to be getting more probe data, but we're getting closer and closer to the real deal. I've actually seen people back on the moon. In 57 minutes, we'll get to see video at least. Let's hope. So I think that's an interesting thing in Star Trek, that they have a whole story that parallels this idea of what's happening with our moon and the probes, explains why it's taken so long to get back to the moon. Now, if people haven't figured this part out as well, that this celestial equator or moon sacrifice stuff to become immortals is actually the secret meaning to not only the world's oldest religion, Ahura Mazda, or monotheistic religion, but it's also the secret meaning to Freemasonry. So that's where we get to the connections with the blue ghost and the spirits that are on the moon, and how that it was Freemasons that went to the moon last time to deal with the demonology. I think. Allegedly. Oh yeah, and if we want to get into some more interesting symbology, we got the firefly. It was there a second ago. You can see the firefly logo that's up there, but she had it on her laptop a minute ago. Hopefully we'll get back to it. I was just going to point out that, yeah, the firefly logo, it matches the Ahura Mazda symbol for the blue ghosts that they could find on the surface of the moon. Now, I've always wondered it, because when I met Buzz Aldrin, I always got the impression, oh, there it is again. Oh, it's gone again. No, there it is. You can see the laptop there. I was hoping they put it on the big screen. No, but that firefly symbol, that's almost the same as Ahura Mazda. People can put in the chat if they think that's a coincidence, or if the company in this firefly thing knows all about Ahura Mazda and the blue ghosts that could be trapped on the moon. No, I've often wondered that after meeting Buzz Aldrin, standing next to him and feeling the power of his aura, or the entity that is attached to him. Allegedly. Big allegedly on that one. Alright, we'll see how many people tune in to join. If we get down to like the last 10 minutes and no one's tuned in yet, I might shut the live stream down. We'll see. So if you can like, share, and comment in the chat, really appreciate it. Will help keep the stream going. I figure even if the stream doesn't go, at least we got a chance to share some information about the history of the blue ghost. Well, they're showing some more pictures of the moon. Rockets take it up to space. Probes. I don't know if people want to put it in the chat. Does anyone know what's all going to be on this lander that lands? I think I heard that there's at least a video camera, some sort of 360 camera. That'll be sweet. Now my wife wants me to wake her up once we get closer to the landing. I guess we won't leave the secret up on the screen for too long. Yeah, so I hope people like the presentation of the Blue Ghost. I don't know if there's any other space channels that are really going to give you the history about the demons that are trapped on the other planetary bodies in our solar system. I think that's one of the reasons that NASA has waited so long to go back to the moon, is they really want to get a handle on the whole demonology field to begin with before they go full blown visiting the place that has some of the most powerful demons imprisoned. Especially since that these entities can attach themselves to humans, allegedly, and then travel their way back to the Earth. Now, there's stories in the old days about ways to protect yourself from demon possession and attachment, and hopefully that's what happened in some of the cases, but pretty sure with the longest living astronaut that we have that he may or may not have had some sort of entity that's helped prolong his life. Allegedly. And who's to say that demons are really that evil? When you talk about the Avesta, one culture's demons is another culture's angels. Can't believe we have a moon landing. Gosh. I think I'm gonna have to go get myself another pod. And it looks like our countdown is about a few seconds, milliseconds ahead of the official time that I can see on the live stream. So far, they might actually be in sync. I really don't think that as many space channels out there, or even the paranormal channels out there, like coast to coast and whatever X Zone shows you listen to. But damn, like there's so much potential here for a probe landing on the moon. Like, can you imagine it's true? And some of the legends about advanced beings living on the moon, they don't want people to come back. That's why we've been gone for 50 years. So when we start sending these probes, if we get like a live feed and the whole world gets to react to something and it turns out to be like our first contact with aliens, it could be just 40 minutes away. So cheers everyone drinking pop or whatever other drinks you got, but dear God, what a historic event. The Blue Ghost Lander. Oh, I think we can see it now. Not the moon, but there it is, the winged disc symbol. Remember we were talking about it for most of the beginning of the show? It's literally basically the Firefly logo. Or what do the viewers think? Is that just a coincidence? I would put closed captions, but they're unavailable for live streams. Sorry if I seem a bit fidgety. I'm getting over a bunch of injuries and surgeries, and oh, you would not believe the the feelings that my body is experiencing at the moment. Pain. No, I'm not laughing because of painkillers. Just trying to keep optimistic. Grave situation. Humor is often the best medicine. I was wondering if there's anything else we should discuss about the moon. Yeah, let's let our discussion continue. We still got 47 minutes. Excuse me. Alright, so that was just some of the information we've seen from the beginning. Next, we'll go on to another bit of slides we had prepared. So if people aren't familiar with this, this is a picture of the Starship by SpaceX. If anyone hasn't noticed lately with all the delays and all the explosions, that Starship has basically been $100 million lemon. That's why I have a lemon hanging it on it. Not to make fun of Elon, I know sometimes it gets a little political. I like some things Elon does and some things he doesn't, and I do like the Starship design, but I'm just not convinced that it's working yet. Hopefully soon. So we got ourselves a little slide there that I know people have been laughing at different companies like Blue Origin or New Glenn, but at least they took a payload. We'll see if Starship ever takes a payload. Hopefully one day. So the main reason I put the lemon on the Starship like that too is to go with this little guy. When they hung the banana, I put the lemon. They're both yellow fruit. No, if people don't know the old Apollo stories, there's a whole story about lemons being hung on the spacecraft before they exploded and killed people. So, yes?
What time is it?
Almost time. It's still another half hour away.
Oh.
Well, I'm starting the live stream just to get warmed up. Alright, so yeah, that's the story about the lemon and the banana. Alright, here we talked more about the ancient history of animals and sacrifices, not just the rabbit, but also the world elephant and the turtle were involved in creation myths or legends or history about our entire planet and solar system. Yeah, there's the picture of the lemon hanging on the old NASA ones. That's a real picture. A NASA astronaut whistleblower hung it there just before he died. Him and his crew praying just before they were all burned alive in an accident. Yeah, so there's Barron, the investigator. He found out some irregularities, reported it, and then him and his whole family were killed. And that was the end of the investigation into the Apollo whistleblowers. Now just showing some of these forest rings that we got up north near where I live are also very similar to the shapes that we find on the moon and its craters. Some other pictures of the moon, stuff it does, like eclipses, like when I got engaged this year and then later married. Oh yeah, we also see the gravity well lines. It's like straight lines, like great circles from the Indiana Jones game. They go across the entire Earth. They also do it on the moon as well. So just figured I'd draw some of these lines and made it yellow so you can see it a little bit more clear, just why the moon has these lines across the entire equator or other great circles. Only gravity well research can explain it, I believe. Oh yeah, and then we also show that Earth, we have these moons with these gravity well equator lines, and other moons like the ones around Jupiter have the exact same formations, nearly identical. Same with the crater in the center, the lines going through, even immense craters in the same positions. So I don't know if asteroids just happen to be hitting them exactly, or it has to do with the gravity well technology. So we get more into the stuff about the moon sacrifice stuff, connecting to Orion, the Alpha to Omega story, the Turtle World Elephant story with sacrifice is involved in the moon creation, but also the rest of our planet. 41 minutes to go. Oh. Alright, that looks like the end of our additional moon slides. So I hope people like that. A little bit of extra history to do with the moon. There's the elephant's eye we were just looking at. Alright, so viewers can put it in the chat. Did they like the little presentation? A little bit more history about the moon. I know I made a little 3-minute video short. If people want to check that out, but kind of just rambled and didn't make any sense. So at least this way it's a longer version of me rambling and not making any sense. So hopefully that helps. Orion. Alpha to Omega. I want to do some more presentations about gravity wells. Dear God, would it be fun? Alright, well, I guess not too many people are going to be tuning in for the watch along. It's kind of late or early. It's bad for both time zones, really. Late for America, too early for Europe. Alright, well, I guess we're getting to the 30-minute mark. I'm kind of dying to listen to see what they're saying. I wonder if I can do it somehow. Excuse me. Alright, if any of the viewers want to let me know. Is the TV coming up in the audio? Hopefully not. Hopefully I can just hear it. Alright, we're down to about 30 minutes. Yeah, doesn't seem to be much action coming from the... They need to find better ways to make space exploration cool. Showing a room full of people sitting at computers. It's like bad enough watching one person do that. Am I right? They need like a stage with bands playing music and be like, oh yeah, speaking of music, you know that theme song from what is it, 2001 Space Odyssey? Dun, 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 dun. You know when the monolith is growing out of the ground, the apes are hitting it with rocks, and like planets are eclipsing and stuff. That song is also called Also Sprach Zarathustra, and Zarathustra also happens to be the winged disc. Zoroaster, prophet. It's another name for him. So just another little connection while we were talking about music and the Blue Ghost Moon mission. Dun, 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 dun. Now, part of me is a little bit disappointed because they always taught us when we were like kids in elementary school, like even in grade 1, that we'd be already colonized the moon by the time we were adults. So we're a little bit late, like 50 years late or whatever, but better late than never, right? It's exciting to see it. Yeah, I turned up the volume to hear it on the TV, but it was just garbage. I don't want to hear that show. Thought they were talking about cool stuff. It's like some sort of families. It's like, who cares? It's like, show me the demons on the moon. No, I think that's the problem when they came back, right? They're like, when the demons were there, that's why the astronauts were so upset that they weren't going back to the moon anymore. NASA's like, sorry guys, we're not ready to deal with demons yet. And they're like, fuck, alright, we won't go back for 50 years. Makes you wonder, like, what changed now? Maybe it's just the Chinese, they didn't care that demons were there, and they're like, alright, we're just gonna go anyways, and hopefully find a way to divert these demons. Maybe imprison them on the sun rather than the moon. We'll go for a prison relocation. I think that's like when people thought about going to the moon, what was going to be the problems. Think, oh, there's no air, it's cold, it's hot, radiation. But then you got demons. It's like, oh, I think demons is probably got to be the worst of those. Who knows? Maybe the demons will be grateful that humans can bring them back to the earth and they won't cause havoc. They'll help give us new technologies, teach us to bring them to other planets and can infest their cultures. Firefly. Yeah. There's that laptop, the winged disc symbol. Spooky. I think when it gets to like 10 minutes, if no one's here yet, well, maybe we'll just leave it run anyway. I want to turn it up and hear what they're saying, so... Oh, I know what I could do. I'll just turn off the microphone when I turn that up really loud. And we'll be silent here for a while. So people can tune in, look at a clock, count down, a little picture of the ghost, rather than the other channels that have live video of the moon spinning by. Oh god. Alright, I think that's what I gotta do. I'm gonna try to get another window going, because I'm not gonna be able to just miss the rest because I'm live streaming. Let's see, which one are we watching? We're watching Firefly Aerospace. There's also the Angry Astronaut. He's doing a live stream watch along. Alright, so we gotta go watch his. I gotta see what he says about it, but at least we kept ours going as long as we could, and hopefully we gave some information. Maybe people will watch it on the replay after. Alright, bye for now, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck with the blue ghost. Keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully it lands. Bye for now, everyone. See ya.